Hi, today I'm going to show y'all how y'all can use ToonDoo to make cartoons, and actually a cartoon book if you want, like a graphic novel book. It's pretty cool. And so the first thing you need to do is go to toondoo.com, ToonDoo.com. And then if you don't have an account, you're going to click right here where it says sign up for free, but I do have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And you can do a number of things with this site, but what we're going to focus on today is the tune and the book section. The tunes are the first thing that you need to make. So click Create Tune. And I'm going to stick with the horizontal layouts. And the reason I'm going to stick with the horizontal layouts is because if I end up telling like a longer story with my book review or whatever story that I'm trying to tell, and I need more than 3 pictures, then I'm going to have to make this a book. If you know for sure you only need 4 pictures, you could do a vertical layout, but those do not work with the book. So I just recommend that everybody stick with the horizontal layouts. So I'm going to go ahead and click one, and it can take up to a few minutes to load. Don't worry if it takes, honestly 2 or 3 minutes. I've just preloaded it, so I know for a fact that it went really quickly. The first thing that I like to do, this isn't how you have to do it, but the first thing I like to do is get a backdrop selected, because that kind of sets the tone for and the mood for the whole story. So I'm going to actually choose. Nope, that's not the one I wanted to choose. I'm going to choose one that, this one. And I'm going to pretend like I'm making Hansel and Gretel. Because this reminds me of Hansel and Gretel. But the cool thing is there are a couple of them, like I can have another scene with them walking in the forest, but here I am with them I'm going to make it right before they enter the witch's house looking for food. Okay, so I've got my backdrop. And then I've got to pick my characters. Since Hansel and Gretel were kids, I'm going to go to the kids section. But you have lots of options. You have animals, you've got men, women, emoticons, whatever. You've got lots of choices. But I'm going to go to the kids section. And I will have this be Hansel. And now I need a girl. And this can be Gretel. Okay, and right now, in my opinion, they're too big. So what I'm going to do to change their size is I'm going to highlight them one at a time, and I'm going to click the shrink button. Uh-oh, but I made her too small. So you can enlarge her and by clicking the enlarge button. But now she's not on the ground, so I can just pick her up and move her so she's back on the ground. And then I'm going to go ahead and shrink Hansel 2. And then the next thing, one of the most important parts of comics are the words. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. Now, if you're not a graphic novel reader or comic reader, I need to tell you that if it has this little V, that means they're actually saying it, but these dots are thought bubbles. So that means they're not actually saying it, they're just thinking it. But I'm going to have Gretel say, hey, maybe we should go inside and find some food. Or hey, maybe we can go inside and find some food. I am so hungry since running away. Okay, well now you can see I have a problem, and that is that I have made my script go way off the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it over, but I'm also going to have to shrink it. Uh-oh. Make it a little bit bigger. You're not going to be able to see anything. Now, the other thing that you might have seen that I did is you can drag and drop the this little arrow thing with the text and make it to where it suits you. So now I can make it enlarge it a little bit. Shrink it back down. And you can also use the return button. Maybe I didn't type the whole word away. To give yourself a second line of text. Alright, and then that's all I'm going to do for this particular comic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it. So I go up to the ToonDoo main menu and I click save. And then I'm going to call this Finding Food. And then if I want to do tags or anything like that, I don't care if anybody sees it, so I'm just going to say publish it to the world, and then I'm going to click print. I mean, publish. This is the place though that if you want, like let's say you just want to do this one and you want to print it and you're going to turn it in that way, you click print tune. I'm not going to do it, but if you want to print in the library, you can. Black and white is 10 cents, color is a quarter, but I'm not going to do that now, but you can, it's an option. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So now that I'm done with the cartoon, this particular cartoon, I can either make a new cartoon, using the same layouts. And if I was going to make a book, I would be making a number of cartoons to go in order. But I'm going to just skip that process because I think y'all kind of understand where we're coming from. And I'm going to go back to the ToonDoo page. I'm going to say leave this page because now I'm going to show you how to use a book or make a book. You click create book. And it's really simple. Basically, all you have to do is you drag and you drop all of your tunes that you've made. These are just tunes that I've made for different things. They're not necessarily telling a cohesive story, although yours would be. So right now I have 5 pages to my book, and you can flip back and forth and read my whole story. So now I want to publish. It won't let me publish until I give it a title, so I'm going to call this My Cool Cartoon. And if I want to add a description or tag, I can, but I don't really want to at this time, so I'm going to just go ahead and say publish. Alright, so I'm going to view it now. And then let's say that you want to get a grade for this and you need to somehow find a way to get it to your teacher. The best way that I can recommend is you email it to them. So click the little email icon and you'll type in your name. And if you want to type a message for them, you can. You are so cool for letting me do this project by making a cartoon. And then, oh wait, that was for the email address. This is your message. And you'll just type in the address of your teacher. I'm typing in my email address so I don't spam some random teacher, a random cartoon, but you would use your teacher's email address and then you click send. And it takes a second. I'm going to go ahead and pause it until it actually says it's done. And so I knew that it was done because it stopped saying sending and it started saying send. It took just another minute after I paused it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that window, and I also know that it sent it because it showed up in my inbox, which you wouldn't have the access to, but maybe you would want to also type in your email address underneath your teacher's email address. That way you know that, see, because you can email more than one person. It says for multiple recipients, separate with a comma. So you could email it to your email address, comma, your teacher's email address. That's another check that you can use to make sure that it goes through. Okay, so I think that is the basics of how to make a cartoon and how to make a book. I hope you enjoy using ToonDoo.